Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the next episode of the Perfectly Imperfect Spiritual Podcast. I'm your host, Marta the Medium. This is a space where we explore spirituality as something lived, embodied, and imperfect, not as performance, not as something to get right, but as something that unfolds through real human experience. Today's episode is a gentle one and it is also a spacious one. I want to talk about what happens after insight, after the realization, after the awakening, after the moment where something inside you shifts and you can't unknow what you now know. So often on the spiritual path, insight is treated as the goal, as if clarity is the destination, as if once you see something clearly, life should immediately feel lighter, easier, or more aligned. But in my experience, insight is not the end point, it is a threshold. And what really matters is what happens once you step through it. Living after insight is rarely dramatic. In fact, I think it's often very quiet. Sometimes insight arrives as a soft internal click rather than a big moment, a moment of honesty, a realization you didn't ask for, but you can't ignore. And then life continues. You still wake up in the same body, you still have responsibilities, the same relationships, the same routines, but something inside you has changed. And that can feel surprisingly unsettling because insight shifts your inner landscape faster than your outer life can adjust. You may notice that things you once tolerated no longer feel right, that you are less willing to override yourself, that your body reacts differently to situations you used to manage. And I want you to know, Spirit wants you to know that this isn't you becoming difficult, it is you becoming honest. Living after insight often brings an in between space, an in between phase. The old way of being no longer fits, but the new way hasn't fully formed yet. Hmm. And many people misinterpret this phase. They think they're stuck or disconnected or doing something wrong. But this isn't regression, it's integration beginning. Integration is slower than insight. It doesn't come with fireworks or momentum. There's no rush of energy here, no constant validation. Instead, you are invited into a quieter inquiry. How am I actually living now? Ask yourself. Where does my life no longer match what I know? What feels misaligned in small, ordinary ways? And these aren't questions you answer quickly. They ask for your presence. And this is where patience becomes essential. Because insight doesn't force change, it invites it. An invitation requires choice. You may notice that after insight, your appetite for noise changes. You might feel less drawn to constant guidance, content, or stimulation, more drawn to simplicity, to quieter mornings, to fewer conversations. And this isn't withdrawal, it is discernment. Your system is recalibrating. After insight, guidance often changes its role. So instead of asking, what should I do next? You may find yourself asking, can I trust what I already know? And that question can feel uncomfortable because it doesn't come with immediate reassurance. It asks you to listen more deeply, to notice how your body responds to your life, to pay attention to what settles you and what constricts you, to observe where you feel honest and where you feel compromised. Living after insight often brings grief too. Grief for versions of yourself you have outgrown, grief of identities that once felt safe, grief for ways of living that no longer fit. And this grief doesn't mean the insight was wrong. It means you are honoring the cost of growth. There's always a letting go that comes with clarity. And rushing past that grief often pulls us back into old patterns. Staying with it gently allows something new to take root. Living after insight asks you to stay present when things feel unclear, to stay honest when it would be easier to rush ahead, to stay grounded when your mind wants certainty. This is where self trust deepens. Not the loud kind of self trust that declares certainty, but the quiet kind, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself, the kind that allows you to move slowly without panic. You begin to realize that you don't need to explain your insight to live it. You don't need to convince anyone. You simply allow it to shape your choices, your boundaries, your pace, your relationships. Living after insight is where spirituality becomes embodied. Hmm. It moves out of the mind and into the nervous system, into how you rest, into how you speak to yourself, into how you care for your body, into how you relate to others. And yes, this phase can feel lonely at times because you are no longer who you were. You are not yet fully who you are becoming, but this in between space is not empty. It is fertile. Spirit wants you to know it is where wisdom grows. If you're in this phase right now, I want to say this clearly. Nothing has gone wrong. You're not behind. You are not disconnected. You are not failing your path. You're basically learning how to live from truth rather than chase it. And that takes time. Human time, gentle time. So let yourself slow down here. Let your life reorganize at the pace it needs. Trust that insight doesn't disappear just because it's no longer loud. Sometimes it becomes most powerful when it no longer needs to announce itself. I want to invite you now into a short visualization and a few affirmations you can take with you. You don't need to do anything special. If it feels comfortable, gently close your eyes, of course, when you're not driving, or simply soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. Allow your shoulders to drop. Let your jaw soften. Let your body know it doesn't need to hold anything right now. Bring your awareness to the weight of your body. Notice where you're supported, the chair beneath you, the floor beneath your feet, the surface holding you. There's nowhere else you need to be. Now imagine that you're standing at the edge of a wide, open landscape. Nothing dramatic, nothing symbolic, just space. Behind you is everything you have already understood, the insights you've had, the truths you've seen. You don't need to revisit them, they are already part of you. In front of you is the path you are now walking. It is not rushed, it is not mapped out, it unfolds step by step. Notice how your body feels as you stand here. There's no pressure to move faster, no need to arrive anywhere. Take another gentle breath and out. One more time in and out. And as you exhale, allow any urgency to soften, not disappear, just soften. And now, I will offer a few affirmations. You can repeat them silently or out loud, or simply let them land. I don't need to rush my understanding. I don't need to rush my understanding. I don't need to rush my understanding. What I have already seen is shaping me, even when things feel quiet. What I have already seen is shaping me, even when things feel quiet. What I have already seen is shaping me, even when things feel quiet. I trust my pace. I trust my body's wisdom. I allow insight to settle into my life gently. I trust my pace. I trust my body's wisdom. I allow insight to settle into my life gently. I trust my pace. I trust my body's wisdom. I allow insight to settle into my life gently. I don't need to chase clarity. I don't need to chase clarity. I don't need to chase clarity. I let my life reorganize in its own time. I let my life reorganize in its own time. I let my life reorganize in its own time. I honor the in between spaces. I honor the in between spaces. I honor the in between spaces. I trust what is integrating beneath the surface. I trust what is integrating beneath the surface. One more time. I trust what is integrating beneath the surface. And let's take one last breath in and out. And I have 3 more affirmations. I am allowed to live from what I already know. I am allowed to live from what I already know. I am allowed to live from what I already know. I am allowed to move slowly and honestly. I am allowed to move slowly and honestly. I am allowed to move slowly and honestly. And last one, I am exactly where I need to be. I am exactly where I need to be. I am exactly where I need to be. And when you're ready, gently bring your awareness back into the room. There's no rush. And as you move back into your day, carry this with you. Spirit wants you to know that you don't need another breakthrough. You're learning how to live from the ones you've already had. Thank you for being here with me today. And until next time, take gentle care of yourself. I'm sending everyone so much love. Bye, everyone.